Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions, and I wanted to take some time today to talk about the most complicated issue that we as accountants and bookkeepers really deal with working with our clients, and that's cash. I'm not talking about cash in your bank account. I'm not talking about any type of cash like that. I'm talking about cold, hard, physical cash. Cash is always going to be the most complicated thing due to the fact of nobody really keeping a good record of it. So many people think, oh, I got paid in cash. I don't have to worry about that. I can hide it. The government isn't going to look into it. They're not going to look at me. But let's start by addressing that concern there. If you're using, like most of our clients do, a dispatch system that's got record of a job occurring, record of a payment being received, even if we delete it in your dispatch and your invoicing system, they could still subpoena your invoicing system and still see that you deleted a cash withdrawal if you were ever audited, and they can see what that cash is, even if it wasn't deposited into the bank. The other thing that we've got there is going to be a fact of everything has moved so digital. And it's not unusual in audits now that app companies, QuickBooks, Xero, programs like that, or even Housecall Pro, Service Titan, programs like that, get subpoenaed by an auditor for audit logs of anything that you deleted. So if it ever got entered and then you deleted it to cook the books, quote unquote, and hide that cash or move that cash, they can generally still find that. Cash is not like it used to be back in the eras and days before computing in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s. So much is so highly computerized and digitized that it's really hard to hide those cash transactions and those cash expenses occurring. So it's a big situation there that it doesn't work like it used to. If you are in Housecall Pro or you're in Service Titan and you are recording a invoice paid and you marked it paid as cash, we're going to see that cash coming in. Ultimately, we've got to do something with that cash on the books. Now, generally, we've got to rely on you as the client to either provide receipts showing that you spent cash or keep some type of document, because unlike your bank account, we don't have bank statements, we don't have any type of access there that we can look at to say, oh, this is what happened with all this money. So we've got to rely on you as the client to give us that information so that we can properly categorize and move that cash around for you. Otherwise, you'll end up with a massive cash on hand account. I would say 20-30% of clients at the end of the year will be bugging them saying, hey, you've got $20, $30, $40,000 cash on hand from cash that you've taken throughout the year. What did you do with that? Ultimately, doesn't really matter what you did with it. It counts as income. We're going to have to pay taxes on it, and we've got no option but to do that. But I'm sure 95 to 99% of the time that you don't have $10,000+ sitting around your house or sitting in your office or sitting in a safe. Hopefully it's at least there if you've got that much, that's doing nothing. More than likely you've gotten that cash, you've either personally used it, you've given it to employees to buy materials, to go do jobs, to go buy things with cash, or you have put it into a drawer and uses petty cash for different things. So there's some record there. So we always need some type of record, and preferably, especially when it's cash, a physical record, because if you're ever audited, the IRS is always going to pick more on cash because we don't have bank statements or anything physical to back up what you're saying happened. So we're going to prefer having receipts or something, but at minimum, that's something you've got to make sure that you're communicating with your bookkeeper or with your accountant so that it's properly recorded. Otherwise, we're going to show a vastly inflated bank account and a vastly inflated fixed asset value over what you probably actually have, because we've got all this cash that you don't physically have showing that you have it, even though that it doesn't physically exist. So cash on hand is probably our worst enemy. It's something I work with and talk about with clients pretty much every month, and we get better, and then clients forget about it, and then I have to point it back out to them again. It's definitely something that I wish we could make a much more streamlined method, and I wish clients kept further in mind of how it worked, because it's always going to exist. It's always going to be something that it is a slight annoyance. And I get the old concept of, oh, it's cash, I can hide it, I don't have to tell the IRS about it. But with how digital everything has gone, it just doesn't work that way anymore. We have developed multiple different ways with our clients to work with them on ways that work best for them to track that cash on hand. And if you're in need of that, if you're in need of better understanding your books and your financials, please feel free to reach out to us here at Waterford Business Solutions. Give us a call at 864-351-0852 or shoot us an email at info@waterfordbusinesssolutions.com. And we're happy to work with you, set up meetings, and come up with ways to make you a expert in your business and your finances. If you've enjoyed this video, I invite you to go ahead and like it and share it. Helps us get and reach to more people. And go ahead and subscribe and follow our YouTube channel here to get more videos just like this.